Alright, I am back, and by back I mean like an hour after I finished saving it with Windows Media Player. And by Media Player I mean Movie Maker. I just climbed upstairs. So I'm a little very much out of shape. Okay. Now we have the next match, which isn't as long. But looks like, as we can see here, it was played about 2 hours after, on the same day. And this replay wasn't as close to a comeback as the other one, but it was very strange. I was actually really surprised to see the outcome of it. So anyways, we have the exact same players. We have Medbed teamed up with Spammer, and we have scrappycoco and yurikomega. And it looks like Spammer has elected to play as allies once again. So let's close this.
Am I still waiting for this world to stop?
Yeah, I turned up my music for a little bit. Alright. So we have Empire, who is Medbed back on the lower left. And looks like he's getting his dojos going. 3 dojo start. Good stuff, good stuff. Some refineries. Get that money incoming. And we have our Soviet player going for the typical crane build in a team game. On the other side of the map, we have the Empire player who is orange. Who is Empire, YurikomegaVSpammer2, scrappycoco. These two are still on the same team. And, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We still have another strangely placed boot camp. Once again, it's kind of placed near the garrison, so I assume that's what he meant to do. Did I choose the same replay that I just watched? I'm pretty sure I didn't. No, the last time YurikomegaVSpammer2 was over here. YurikomegaVSpammer2. Now they're kind of switch positions. But you'll see a very strange match here. I like this match in particular because it looks like they went from a terrible position to a winning position. However, YurikomegaVSpammer2 isn't as persistent with living as Medbed, so it would seem. Once again, some more infantry crushing action by the nearly dead dojo, also known as the death machine, the meat machine, whatever you want to call it. Those broken dojos, they're beast. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Look at the Soviet player taking the quick expand to the center here with the water. Get some fast 4 refineries. All he has is the barracks, some bears. That's all you need. Oh, and apparently he had some conscripts that went over here for some reason. Not quite sure why he did that. Interesting MCV placement. I did not know allies could place their MCV here and build a refinery here. And, well, they can, so keep that in mind. Yeah, that's all I really gotta say about that. And it looks like blue places the bear there to block the refinery from going down. We'll see what Red has to say about that in a few moments. Mecha Tengu clearing out the front of the dojo. Gotta get that stuff cleared out. Orange has 2 oils, and orange is also Yurikomega. Yurikomega seems to look like the most experienced player out of all the players in the matchup. That's what it seems like. Although Medbed doesn't seem to be too bad himself, as he does have the classic turret in between 2 refineries. And he also does have the ability to wall his refineries. But as we all know, walled refineries are for noobs, and only pro players don't wall the refineries. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just a little bit of silence there as I show all the unwalled refineries on the map. Looks like Medbed is the only person who knows how to fully wall a refinery. I mean, I can understand the reasoning behind this because there's a turret there. Why wall? Why wall? No point. You got the turret there. The turret can't do anything if it's not with this wall. So I suppose this could be a bad thing, but having walls is just good altogether. So we have some stingrays. A nice way to get rid of Mecha Tengus. Stingrays are very good at doing that. So as blue just mass expands, yellow is focusing on building an army, and we have mass economy basically, against non-mass economy, which makes for an interesting matchup. Blue's should get a war factory or airfield up, whatever he prefers. Oh wait, no, he has the naval yard out, which isn't necessarily the best idea because stingrays just blow, as we all know that. Now this is where things get a little interesting. Look, where's the pause button in this game? I want to like stop the game. Okay, we can still see the mini-map, although you can't see the units on it, so that kind of makes things useless. Anyways, look at the position on the map here. Orange has 3 oils. That is great. And Orange hasn't expanded though, but Orange is putting on the major pressure. How could Reds possibly survive this? Both players are completely outmatched right here. They look like they're being completely outplayed altogether at this moment in time. However, look at this. Now that Spammer's the one needing of help, look who comes to help him. Medbed right there. I am there for you, buddy. I am there for you, ally. Here's some Mecha Tengus with some honorable discharge, maybe. I don't really know. But the Mecha Tengus are chopping up all these infantries with their little piercing bullets that are, I'm assuming, to be some sort of sword razor, but not really bad at all. Anyways, they just shot up a lot of infantry. This tank is getting really close to killing the MCV. I think Orange focused way too much on killing the MCV, thus lost his entire army. Now Orange is in a position where he doesn't have any army at all, and he doesn't have the economy to rebuild it right away. Over here we can see some Stingray versus Tsunami action. Tsunami tank's nearly taken out the refinery. Looks like he comes back for more as the VX comes for reinforcements to take out these annoying little Stingrays, which are completely overpriced for how good they really are. I mean, like, they're kind of overpriced. I mean, they are overpriced, but they aren't at the same time. I don't know. They have their uses. Anyways, we still have some Mecha Tengus over here. Looks like he just tried to suicide his Tengu into the construction yard with no avail, as the construction yard gets repaired by an engineer. The match still looks like it's heavily favoring our Empire player YurikomegaVSpammer2 and our Soviet player Scrappy. Now Scrappy is getting even more greedy. Still doesn't have really a war factory out until just now, until he got like about 7 refineries, which is absolutely ridiculous. Scrappy is now going to build a Tesla coil in the middle of his ally's base, which is really good. He needs to help out his ally. YurikomegaVSpammer2 should have focused on expanding rather than just putting on so much pressure. Now he's in a position where he can't really build up an army to defend himself, and he can't really survive. Now this attack is it's going to be very tough to fend off, but he should be able to pull it off as he has 5 tank clusters burrowed into the ground here, and should have burrowed them again. Maybe the match was really laggy, he didn't pull that off, but he should have burrowed them. Scrappy, YurikomegaVSpammer2 needs to pull back his forces towards the Tesla coil. He can't compete against this. There's no way. Why is he even trying? That is very strange. That is very it's not necessarily poor micro, but bad strategizing of the objects around you, I guess. YurikomegaVSpammer2 should not panic, though. He has an ally who can do stuff, right? Ally, help! You got 4 tanks here. Let me send them over. Hello, ally. I mean, like, he should totally send these tanks. What is he doing? Come on, you're pulling a spammer on me. This is like, it's like the exact same thing. Not the exact same thing, but it's kind of the same situation where his ally's not helping out when he should help out. What's with the MCV just chilling, just unpacked? I'm an MCV. I'm unpacked. Anyways, the Tesla coil should keep all this stuff safe. However, apparently something goes wrong otherwise. We'll soon see. 5 VX choppers. Now that is a sight to see. Blue can clearly see this with the bear. Start getting out those bullfrogs, Blue. Gotta get those bullfrogs out. Oh, speaking of bullfrogs, there they are right here. Just not where they're needed. And where they're needed might be right here. So Orange is YurikomegaVSpammer2 is kind of in a tough position here. He should focus on getting into the water, get some anti-air, try to recover from that point on. You gotta be like Medbed. You don't want to give up. You don't want to just let yourself die. You gotta be like Medbed and just keep fighting, pushing on. But that is not what's happening here. He just lost his MCV, and now he's next to screwed. But it looks like the Soviet player does look like he's gonna go for a push here, try to win the match with a little final push. However, we have 5 VX choppers coming in. Oh, look at all the bullfrogs. The bullfrogs are in the house, and they will take out these VX choppers. Oh no, they are not being micro. They are not being micro. They are right underneath the VX, and that is right where the VX wants them. Poor micromanagement results in the loss of your entire army. Terrible, terrible job by our blue player, Scrappy. And by terrible, I mean, like, that was just... he should have been paying more attention. That really blows. Now he just loses his entire army and his entire force. That would have done so much damage if he would have had his bullfrogs in better management. That is awful. Orange is still not out of the picture other than money. He should try to get that MCV out. He still has some oils that give him some money. Wow, apparently 3 tsunami tanks can run over 1 trillion flak troopers. It's not 1 trillion, but about 8 flak troopers. That is ridiculous. Just the overwhelming might of the Empire of the Rising Sun, taking down everything, and they just quit. Screw that. These players, they just give up when they lose. You know what? Spammer and Medbed did not give up. They just kept fighting. They just kept going, no matter how hard the situation got. They still got Medbed was only working with a dojo core and managed to do some serious damage. YurikomegaVSpammer2 should have possibly went for a position just like Medbed. Just tried to retreat to the water, try to get his economy back up and going. I don't think Scrappy's on the same level as the rest of the players. I mean, Spammer wasn't really doing... I mean, Spammer was okay, but he was doing a strange strategy, right, with the Prospector being deployed. But still no airfield, no support like that. I think an allies without an airfield is just crap. I don't know. But actually, you know what? You know, that is pretty interesting, though. He did completely go for usually just he usually... Oh my god, this is terrible. What am I trying to say here? Get my language together here. Alright. It would seem that Spammer likes to go for those War Factory builds, and he likes to get those Prospectors out, which is an interesting idea. Because, well, it's just interesting. Allies usually just always goes for the air builds and dominates with the air. That's good coffee. A little bit strong, though. Anyways. So we can see that YurikomegaVSpammer2 had some trouble in the later of the mid-game. And by mid-game, I mean like at the 7-minute mark or 6-minute mark. That's this. No, the 4. About 5 minutes, you can see his army declines. I'm like pointing at the screen with my finger, but then I start realizing, hey, my finger isn't in the screen. You guys can't see that. You can see just a decline in units, and then bam. That's because he didn't do anything to raise his economy, and eventually he just got out macroed, I guess. If your micro can mean a lot, but it can't mean a lot when you don't have enough units. You know what I'm saying? He should have started expanding as soon as he made his first wave of attacks. That's when he should have built that refinery, and then he could have went up once again for the big raise in units. Of course, there was a big lack of help from Scrappy. Scrappy should have sent those tanks in, should have been there, and instead he sent his army towards the opponent, which is an okay idea. When your opponents are all expending their army at one of your allies' bases, you can go ahead and wipe out an enemy as well. However, it sacrifices your ally, and I'm pretty sure a lot of allies that I've had don't appreciate that kind of strategizing. Although I prefer it, I'll be like, I'll just hold on as much as I can, you just destroy my enemy. I love that strategy. I don't know what it is about it. It's just like sacrificing yourself for somebody else. But I think Scrappy definitely should have helped out his ally. Once again, there was a big lack of teamwork from one of the teams, and that cost the game. So I think Scrappy should have just went on the offense a lot earlier too. It just wasn't good enough. I mean, Medbed was really working off a small economy. I think it was just 2 refineries, and he was doing so much more damage than Scrappy would ever dream of. And he only had 2 refineries, while Scrappy had like 7. What's up with that? Scrappy should get that War Factory up a lot faster. Should have been there for his ally, and I think my coffee really tastes really bad. Like tastes really good at first, and then it's like this aftertaste just goes terrible. Oh, that went terrible. I meant to make a more dramatic. Never mind. I guess that would be the end of this. I hope you guys don't get too upset, but I did show both sides of the story. Scrappy, pay better attention to your bullfrogs. That's all I gotta say. And I'll see y'all next time.